Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video tutorial, I am going to show you how to create a website using AI in the free version of Elementor. Now, more specifically than that, I'll be using Claude to create my Elementor website. And since I am using the free version of Elementor, I decided to go ahead and use the Astra theme. This way, with the Astra theme, I can come back in here later to create my header and footer. If I was using the pro version of Elementor, then I would have access to the theme builder to create the header and footer. But since I'm on the free version of Elementor, I just thought the Astra theme would make sense. So what I'm going to do is come over here to Claude, and I'm going to tell Claude that I want to build a website in the free version of Elementor. So I'm just going to, let's see here, I'll just type in a prompt, help me build a website for the free version of Elementor. This website, or let's say, ask me a few questions to get an idea of the design I want. I am doing this as a demo for my YouTube audience, so let's make this short and sweet. Make it a one-page website. All right, so let's see what that gives us. All right, what's this web? So Claude is asking some questions. What's the website for? And we can say a personal brand or a portfolio, a small business service, a product app, or a landing page, or something else. We can say something else and say a pet grooming service. And then if we want it clean and minimal, bold and modern, warm and friendly, or dark and dramatic, we can say maybe warm and friendly. And a color scheme, we can go with maybe, we'll say let Claude choose the color scheme. All right, so now Claude is working on this design. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and just kind of pause the video. As soon as Claude is finished, I will unpause. All right, so now Claude is starting to build. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just pause the video for right now and come back in a few minutes when it's done. All right, guys, I am back, and Claude looks like has finished creating our design. Let's take a look here and see what we got. All right, so he's actually still working, but you can see how this is actually starting to come along really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and just pause one more time while he's finishing up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it looks like Claude has finished. So let's see what we got here. All right, so here's our design, which actually looks really good. Now, to import this into Elementor, what we're going to need to do is have Claude give us a JSON files, and that's the type of file that we can use to import a template into Elementor. So I'm going to tell Claude, can you give me a JSON file that I can import as a template? All right, so let's see what he says to that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while he is working on this request, and I will be right back. All right, guys, so I am back, and Claude has finished generating our JSON file that we can use to import into Elementor. So here's the file right here. So what I'm going to do is just click download. All right, and then what we're going to do is go back over to our WordPress website. So I'm going to go over to the WordPress dashboard. We'll go to Elementor, and then we'll go over to editor, and then we'll go to templates. And then we'll come up here to the right, and where it says, let's see, import templates. So we're going to click import templates, and then we're going to say choose file. And then I'll go to my downloads, And here's the file that Claude made right here. So we'll click open on that and then import now and continue. Okay, so there's our file right here. So we can click view to view our site. Now you can see it doesn't look so good in here. Like right now this actually looks pretty narrow. Maybe we can extend the width out a little bit. And we got to clean certain things up. But what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll go to pages, and then we'll click on our home page here and say edit with Elementor. And then we'll click on this little folder icon right here. Go to templates. And here's our template right here. So we'll just click on that and click on insert. And there's our website right here. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and actually just publish this so we can look at it on the front end and see what it looks like. All right, so here's our website. So we have our hero section right here. And we'll just scroll down, and here's the what we offer section with our services right here. And we can come in here later and change the colors. So I think overall, I mean, you know, he did actually a pretty good job. And then, like I said, since we're using the Astra theme, we can come in here later and design our header and our footer. And I actually have a video on how to create a header in the free version of Elementor, so I'll put a link to that in the description. Now, something that we could do up here too is like if we wanted to put like maybe an image in the background, we could maybe put an image up here. So if we go to edit with Elementor, and all you got to do is just, you know, like you would, you know, editing any other website, you just come in here, click on the container or the 6 dots. We'll go to style and we'll go to image, and we'll just pick an image here. And then we can come down to maybe background overlay, and we can change the color, just kind of make it a little darker, maybe something like that. And then of course we can change the color, maybe go with white. And you can really design this any way that you want, just the same way you would design any other website. So a little bit of tweaking and making some color changes, but overall I say the site looks pretty good. All right, and then before we wrap up, I guess I didn't really pay close enough attention that the hero section actually looks a little bit different in this mock-up here versus what we actually got from Claude. You can see like this section right here, what we offer, does not look exactly the same as right here with these boxes. And the hero section has this object over here kind of moving a little bit, a little animation effect, which I also don't see here. So of course we can always come in here later and add those elements, but what I did was I went back to Claude and I told him real quickly, the hero section has a moving object that didn't come through, and also the styling of the what we offer section isn't quite exact. He says good catch, and he says he fixed it. So I'm gonna just download this new JSON file right here, and here it is downloaded to my downloads folder. So now I'm going to go back to the WordPress dashboard. I'm just going to click leave. All right, and then we'll go back to Elementor and then editor, and then go to templates, and then we're going to come up here and click import templates. And actually what I'll do first is I'll just get rid of this one. There we go. And then we'll come up here and click import templates, choose file, and we'll click the new one up here, open, and import now, and continue. Okay, so here it is. Now we'll go back to pages and all pages. We'll go to our home page here and click edit with Elementor. And what I'm going to do is just kind of delete all these sections here. So let me just X these out. All right, so now we'll come over here to the folder, go to templates, and we'll click on this one right here and then insert. All right, so now we can see we have that little effect right there, and then the what we offer section looks a lot better, and we have our motion effect as well with the little horizontal line going across. So this already looks a lot nicer than the first one. So we'll come up here and we'll click publish. All right, and now we'll go back to our site, click open site, and now you can see our design looks a lot better. And of course, we can still come in here and make changes and, you know, edit the site the same way you would edit any other website in Elementor. He did put a footer in here, although the footer should not technically be on this page because the footer would need to be set up in your theme. So that's where we would actually just kind of recreate this in Astra. But otherwise, I say it looks really good. So I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this.